It's like a single sand, you know? It's insignificant, but gather or create enough sand, it turns into a beach. Whenever you feel like your drawings doesn't seem good, you know the feeling of you keep creating drawings and it doesn't feel right? Feels like you're not improving. That is a good feeling because you care. You care so much about your drawing that you're very hypercritical about the quality of your work. That means you care about your work. You're passionate about your work. And that's a good feeling. Remember that. Here's a secret. Every work that I'm doing, I hate. It always seems like I'm so close to making this drawing a nice drawing, but I'm also so far. You know what I mean? When you draw something, it feels like there's something missing. You keep working on it for minutes, hours, days even, and then it just feels like you're overworking the piece and it doesn't look good. Whenever I have that feeling, I just walk away, start a new drawing. Never get married to a drawing. Make mistakes as often as you can. That's the secret. When you end an illustration, wait, let me just read through all of this. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece or even finished, but if you learn, you did it right. When you end an illustration, you could feel proud, sad, happy, and such things, right? No, you're not. You don't need to. When I do an illustration, even if it's something I search to work on, I think more about how good looks instead of having fun in the process. It will merge eventually. Eventually, you will find that learning and improving is going to be a fulfilling and enjoymentable experience. English. So let me show you. Every drawing I did this month, I hated. Every drawing I created, I feel like I could improve. Here's the secret, right? Every artist that you look up to on the internet, they are always not content with their work. Look at all those artists that you find amazing, right? And they will always say that they could improve upon it. Even the late great Kim Jong Gi, he hated his work. Even though his work is godlike, he always finds something wrong with it because it's just a curse that us artists have. We never really like our art. Remember we talked about Da Vinci's last words? Da Vinci's last words. The guy who literally is the epitome of the artist's artist, you know? So let me show you Da Vinci's last words, yeah? Let me find it. Fuck. This is Da Vinci's last words. I have offended God and mankind because my work did not reach the quality it should have. He died at the ripe old age of 90. Still wasn't content. It's like a never ending search for unobtainable perfection. The whole Kaizen thing we talk about, that's it. All in order for to someone to look at it and say, wow, this artist is amazing. I want to support him. I had an experience with NFT scammers who made me thought my work was valuable only to say me after that they want my art to be converted to NFTs. Spit, you should stop looking for validation from outside sources. I feel like because that feeling is fleeting. That's why I never listen to comments, although it's lovely. It's very nice to see people enjoying my work. But if I let that be my definition of a success, it's just a cocktail of misery, I feel. So you gotta search within, as cliche as it and as corny as it sounds. You gotta find enjoyment and passion and fulfillment here. Once you start falling in love with the process of creating art, once you fall in love with just existing to create something pleasing or to pursue art, it's a fulfilling thing, I feel like. Contentment is the death of growth. Exactly. We are cursed to feel not content, chat. If you are the kind of person who is contented with your art, that's when you die. That's when you don't improve anymore. But if you're suffering, right? As we all know, art is synonymous with suffering. If you suffer for your art, that just means you care about it enough. The beautiful thing about artists is do it enough times, we start to see the beauty in the most mundane things. I see artists out there who are so obsessed with trees that they can make trees look like they're ethereal. I see artists out there who can make hair look like it just feels like it looks like it's nice. I can't put words into it. So if you ever feel lost, you're not the only one. There's not an artist out there that has put two and two together just yet. Everybody's just winging it. All those artists who you think who look like they have it solved, they don't. And those people who pretend to know everything, who pretend to have the answers to life's mysteries, they're just scammers. The thing about life is, the longer you study it, the more you feel like you're lost. The more you feel like you haven't, the more you don't understand it, I feel. It's crazy, huh? Hey, Des. This is from Doctor Who. Tanda. Sure. Sorry. I feel good when I've learned, but enjoying learning is hard. You need to train yourself, I feel. It's a hard thing to learn. To just feel contentment of just creating art. Also, take down notes. Let me show you. Let me go back. Give it a sec. Tanda, I'll be right with you. Yesterday, right? This is what I do, Chad. When I'm not streaming, I draw nonstop. It doesn't even need to be finished. Just a bunch of doodles to get it out of my system. Because every doodle, every art that I create, every pose that I do is a stepping stone to a much better art in the future. Everything I create, every stroke, I learn something from it. And every time there's a eureka moment, every time I discover something great, it just feels really good. It's like walking through a dark forest and all of a sudden you see breadcrumbs. And I'm like, holy shit, really? So this is what I do. I don't post this. Well, I post this on my Patreon, but everything that I create is a learning experience. Everything that I create is a failure. Just because it's a failure doesn't mean you don't learn from it. You learn from mistakes more than anything else. So I highly recommend that you guys doodle because that is the best way to learn. Be content with being okay. I hope that that makes sense. So please doodle some more. It's very important. What about Lois? She seems to have figured it out. Probably. I don't know her.
Leonardo da Vinci said, aim yourself like an arrow and let go. Da Vinci's saying is a great way to think about approaching your creative effort. Begin each session aware of your stance. Visualize the bullseye. Fill yourself with the tension of your intention and release into it. The release means you've let go of the outcome, except as a measure of how you have to adjust for the next shot. Spend arrow after arrow because that's with archery anyway. It takes practice to become the marksman of your heart's desires. So aim yourself like an arrow.
Love her. I'm gonna follow. Thank you, Des. It's very well put. Very nice.
A special surprise for you.
What is this?
Exclusively here at the Game Awards. Welcome.
Hey, Revelia. Yeah, real talk, right? One sec. So I hope my sketches have showed you guys the amount of work I put into it. And the best thing about doodling, though, there are poses that I will tackle back. But look at this. Look at the amount of doodles I did, chat. It repeated.